Welcome to Conversations with K and J. We're your hosts, Kayla and Janae.
And here we talk about love, life,
and lessons learned. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Daily Doses of Conversations with Kayla
and Janae.
And of course, we're going to address that we've been gone for a week, but we needed last week off, you guys. We've been trying to be about what we speak about.
Yeah.
And implement new things into our routine, our schedule, just feeding back into ourselves. So we needed last week to get back on track in some sense. But nonetheless, we are back today and we're going to jump into today's energy. We are looking at the Knight of Wands, the Sun in reverse, and the High Priestess. So I'm going to pretty much just go through and break this down, and then we will conversate about it.
Yeah.
I'm
going to piggyback off of you.
So the Knight of Wands, since we have three, I'm going to take it as like a past, present, moving forward. The Knight of Wands is about coming out of a place of the inconsistency or the back and forth of something. This is going in and out, making up your mind one moment and then being indecisive the next moment, setting your path or direction one way and then deciding to make a quick left. That's in the past. So you've come out of this temporary energy, this hot and cold energy, but bringing into this present energy, we have the Sun in the reverse. So the Sun is a card that you can never really make bad. Like, it doesn't really have a bad meaning.
Yeah.
Even in the reverse.
Mm-hmm.
It just means that if it's in the reverse, what this feels like is that there has been a healing that has occurred, but has been yet to be acknowledged.
Okay.
So in some way, shape, or form, with the Knight of Wands, I feel like this could be saying that in the past, there was an inconsistency around something either you were choosing, being, or perceiving.
Okay. So you were like in the past in a back and forth stage, but you went through the healing stage, and right now you just haven't acknowledged that you healed from it.
Right. So the Sun is coming up in reverse because the healing has occurred, but again, the understanding or
that you're not in that place
to
anymore.
See that right is not there. And so with the moving forward energy, the advice would be the High Priestess of needing to tap into your own understanding of self. So ultimately, this could be a disconnection between self in some kind of way, because a part of you could be still in the past or feeling like you are in the past.
Or thinking about past situations.
Yes.
But you moved on from it and you healed from it, but you haven't quite yet accepted that you're way further away from the past than you think you are.
Right. Like, what came to mind when you said that was like one time, I don't know, in the past, like I hit up an ex or something. They were like, it's been months, years, you know? And to me, like, it didn't really hit until they've been like, it's been X amount of months and you still like are stuck on this and that and that. But to me, like, time didn't move because my mind stayed focused on that situation or that relationship, right?
So a lot of hurt or things that you've experienced feel like yesterday, but girl, it's been 2 years.
Right.
And it's not saying you've been 2 years stuck on it. You've been 2 years grown from it. And I don't know, you just haven't realized how fast time has passed. And
how much you are like moving past things than you thought. Just because your mind or your focus may still be there doesn't mean that the development that you made within your own self or your own healing journey per se has not occurred.
Right.
That's usually the moment where the past swings back around and you're present, and then you're like, oh, I'm not even into this anymore.
Right. It's not that you haven't learned a lesson from it.
Yeah.
It's just you haven't recognized the growth in yourself.
Right. Because with fire energy, the reason that this happens, because with fire energy, in some way, shape, or form, you're still placing what you thought was a desire or a passion or something that you were heavily connected to or invested in. But it was meant to be temporary.
So placing your new self in something that's a old you.
Yeah, you remember the other day, I don't know if I was washing dishes, but remember I was like, everyone has their part to play. So even the people in the past that you may have wanted to stay more permanently or have more longevity, like they were only meant to stay to teach you that lesson that then got you closer to that blessing. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. And I think even if it's not connected to a person, how it can connect to you on a personal level. I thought of you, like with dance and stuff, how sometimes you want to dance like the old Kayla, but you're now mature Kayla, and those two things look different.
Yeah.
You know, or you got to find like
what that is now
for you.
Yeah.
You know you still dance. It's just you keep trying to dance the old way, and your style of dance is different now.
Right. And that's what I meant with the Knight of Wands. Like, in some kind of way, shape, or form, you're still trying to identify with a past version of yourself that felt deeply about something. Because maybe you don't have that same feeling. You think that it's impossible to like move forward in a way, but you move forward in a different way.
Yep. Yeah.
So the Knight of Wands is connected to the Nine of Wands, which means you've gone through a lot. So with whatever you've experienced in your past, you have every right to feel the effects of that every now and then, because it was a lot. It was heavy, especially with the Nine of Wands. It definitely puts you in a place within life where you're very guarded, you're very protective, you're very
you had to make a lot of hard decisions.
Yeah. Meticulous comes to mind, but why? That's something I need to look up.
No. Meticulous.
But why?
Means like, I think it's a well thought out decision.
Showing great attention to detail, very careful and precise. Right. Okay. So you were meticulous, or you are meticulous because of this situation. It could be either one, but you've been very, very careful about your choices, your decisions, and kind of keeping your head on a swivel in a sense. So again, that makes sense as to why it's a in and out type of energy that you go back and forth to. But again, mainly the Knight of Wands and the Nine of Wands is in the past, but this is going to be recent past. So this is something you're just now coming out of that you may not be realizing that you're coming out of.
Right. Well, he's holding like that one stick, and I guess out of all those sticks behind him, he made a decision on one thing, right?
Right. And okay, well then if you want to look at it that way, then that one stick in this Knight of Wands that this person chose or decided on could have been what brought all the opposition and challenges in the back with this Eight of Wands, right?
You made that one move, and everything else around you kind of like wanted to oppose that one decision you made.
Right. So, okay. Yes, we could be talking about physical people within your reality, but let's take it a little more out than that. Like, let's zoom out. So this is like you placing or praying or manifesting some sort of reality for yourself. And God, the universe, spirit responded.
Yep.
And you made your choice, but you didn't know what you were going to have to leave behind, or the opposition that you would face on your way there. But the Nine of Wands is you were already almost there, but it was things and people and situations that couldn't come along with you, and you may be questioning yourself. Did I change? Am I Hollywood? Do I think that I'm too much and I've forgotten who I am and where I come from? Instead of realizing that you were bonding and connected to things and people from the past because you were functioning off of an unhealed version of yourself that you were told was the truth, that you were told was normal. Because the sun, like I said, in reverse is giving this like very, I don't know, narrow-minded perspective of seeing something or seeing your ability to heal or overcome something. The Ace of Wands, that's what I'm saying. It's giving, not identifying with who you are now in the past, because the past told you what things are supposed to look like.
Yeah.
And because you are not looking like those things, it's hard to place healing on you.
Right.
And I'm just going to be transparent because I feel like that was me a few years ago. Like when we hit hard times after like coming together in Colorado, and like life was going up, and then we like had no money. We was eating eggs. We was like walking, like that was embarrassing because I felt like it reflected to other people that something was wrong with me. Like I wasn't a good person. I wasn't right. I wasn't living right. Like I kept thinking in my mind that something must be wrong with me or I'm not doing something right because I had everything and then lost it. Right. So then it led me to questioning myself, my choices, everything else around me, when in reality, those things were the things that I wanted, that I chose.
Right. I think it can put you in that confused position because you feel like you have everything that you asked for, and yet you're losing everything that you knew. So, like, it is confusing of, like, wanting to go back into that comfort zone, but also happy in the place that you are.
Right. And so at that point, because we were losing everything, it was hard for me to feel like I was making the right decisions, or that I was growing, or that I was healing and things were getting better, because financially they got worse. But every other sector of my life got better. Right.
You found a different type of happiness.
Right. So I had to sit back and realize that, no, I may not be flashy or bougie in the ways that I used to be before, but that just ultimately started to define a new me.
Right.
People from my past, like, I would have never thought you would do this or be there or live there, like, but it's because that was a past version of me. The person that I grew into be, with the choices that I'm making today, are different. They look different. They will be different.
Even speaking off of that, for me, like, single me was happy that I was making money for myself and I could go shopping and buy things for myself. But stepping into a happiness of, like, love was what I wanted to manifest more than just my single life, right? So it makes you, put you in this back and forth of like, dang, but why doesn't it all look like this and feel like that and it the way it used to, but why can't I have this too? And you can, but that's just the growing pains, right?
It's the growing pains, but it's also the moment of like truly seeing the lessons that you've learned. And I think you and I were talking about this the other day too, when we were like, the main thing that we were asking for in life was love. And this whole time, well, not the whole, I think we've been loving 95% of the time. But, the other, like, time of stressing about, like, growing and what we're growing into and what we're building and the legacy that we're leaving behind, like, we had to stop and realize, like, we got everything that we asked for. Now, all this other shit that came along with it is something that we're still just, like, flowing in the wind with, but it is something to come back and center yourself on, that like you have grown, you have overcome things in ways that you did not expect. Like not to say that you don't have stresses and worries today that may make you feel like the past is repeating itself. It's acknowledging where you are right now and that there's always a way to move forward if that's like your goal, if that is what you truly aspire to do.
Right. Right.
But I think you have to see the truth of what it is that you have now. Like, you can't keep growing and getting blessed without acknowledging your blessings. And it's not to say that you and I didn't acknowledge ourselves and our love. I think every day, that's what I'm saying, every day is like a celebration of us. But because life happens so fast alongside of us receiving our love and our relationship, it swept us up into trying to figure out how to make things like consistently come together and work in every other sector.
In every other thing.
Yeah.
Right. But I think as long as you go back to your choice, your number one choice, and ask yourself, is everything else stemming from that thing? And am I still happy with that choice? Then get out of that place of wanting to go backwards.
Right. Did we talk about my repossession here on the podcast?
I don't know. No.
Okay, well, that must have been on the channel a few weeks ago. But I was saying, in relation to what you just said, when I've got my car possessed twice, y'all. But the first time I got it repossessed, I was going through a divorce, and I felt like my world had like ended. I was like, dang, my credit about to be messed up. Like, it's just over. And I had one of my friends tell me at the time, like, you know, he was like, my mother, she lost cars and she done lost a house and she's fine. You know, she's been able to get back up on her feet. Like, don't let this take you down.
Right.
And then my dad was telling me, like, though you can't see the blessing in this right now, you know, during that divorce, I needed to separate. Right. And so losing that car, getting that car repossessed, then took one
step closer
to
that separation.
Right.
And
my dad was like, you know, that's what's going to happen. And God decided to, you know, take this off of your hands and get you where you need to be going. And so to me, that relates because it was a very bittersweet growing pain moment. Like, I really thought that was the make all be all, like, because of what I had been told growing up. Like, you don't want no bankruptcy, you don't want no
you don't want to lose your car,
right? You know,
it seems like a failure.
You don't, but shit happens. You know. And so, like I said, I done had 2 repossessions, still making it, still kicking it. Hey,
and you got another car and another car, So there's all the things when you realize, like, well, that was the best decision or the best failure in that moment because it got me a step closer to what I truly wanted.
Right.
So it is never a loss.
Yeah.
It's just a growing pain. Right.
It's not a loss. It's never a loss.
No. Loving you and losing things is never a loss to me because that was the number one thing I wanted. Like, it stemmed from that. It stemmed from us, and everything else after that falls in place.
Right. Okay. All right. Perfect. So then we'll use that and we're going to slide into this last. So the high priestess, you knew what you wanted.
Right.
Within.
Right.
Before you even saw it out. Without. Right?
Yeah.
All right.
I made a decision.
You made a decision. Right. Okay. So the high priestess is connected to the moon, which is 2 major arcanas, which means that you got something really major getting ready to happen or change or occur in the near future. But with the moon, that's what's done in the dark comes to light. But this is also things that you are able to feel and see in the dark, being brought into the light in the sense of reality. So in relation to like the initial message that we was talking about, there's been healing that has occurred without acknowledgement. And something is about to play out or come to the surface that's going to reveal to you that what you have known or what you have felt all along has been right, that you have been doing the right thing. And that's what I was trying to say with the story of us when we lost everything.
Right.
You know, I had plenty of moments of going back and forth. I mean, I say that like I was stressing, but I really wasn't, because again, every day I was present in my reality to know like this is exactly where I want to be. You know? So it wasn't until we kept moving and just kept flowing with life that I realized like a lot of healing had been made within that time span. I would say even before like we came out to Mexico, I think it was a moment where, I don't know if it was you and Kaylee or if it was just you, but when you was just like, I can't be living life in fear, and like I need to be present with y'all instead of worrying so much about the past and letting that like
people that's no longer around.
Peace.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. People that don't matter, people that don't contribute to your livelihood, to your lifestyle, to your
Right. But had you not said something just that simple, I wouldn't have taken a moment to think like I am like bringing past things and people who don't play any part into my present reality to be a problem or to be something that makes me sad or makes me just like question myself. Right. I think that was the main thing. I was questioning myself. But yeah, I think that that's one of those moments where when we pull back and we see what it is that we have right now and really ask ourselves, is it even worth risking in order to even have a moment back with that past? And again, that doesn't have to be a person. It's just a past version of who you were, or a memory, or an experience. When you think about it, it all comes together. It's all working together.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just kind of, I don't know why this popped in my head, but the conversation, I don't know, we had it last night or night before, but we was talking about even if things would have continued on with people, there still would have been a point where the split would have happened. Like,
it would have happened regardless.
Or you would have been splitting yourself, because you either would have split it from these people in these situations later on, and it probably would have been a lot worse, or you would have ended up, again, having to choose other people and things over your true self and what you truly value and desire.
You would have felt it either way.
Yeah.
You either would have felt you either feeling the loss of losing them or the feeling of losing yourself. You know?
Right.
You either would have lose them or be filled up with regret. And that's like the worst thing to kind of feel, is regret, that you, the shoulda, coulda, woulda, or if I would have done this and what would have happened, instead of like doing what it is that you feel inside and seeing where people or things, where the chips fall.
Right. And I think that's what really gets me at the end of the day, because when you think about it, I feel like people like us are always sitting here wondering what we could have did different, what we could have said different, without even considering like the fucked upness that they've done. Like,
right,
because you still wouldn't have had to go off on you,
right,
if you didn't, disrespect me. Like I don't know. I just felt like that was always the scenarios with me. It's just like, well, you giving me attitude, or you being too harsh, and it's just like, but you just like lied to my face.
Right. But sometimes the chips fall even when you just doing something for yourself. Like when they don't even play a part. You just made a decision for yourself, and then people just fall off because they don't like that you made that decision for yourself. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it don't even have to be an altercation. Like when we moved to Mexico, my friendship that I had for so long just fell. The chip just fell. Like there was no words, no. It's like if we jumped into a whole new timeline, and sometimes that's just how it will be. How it goes, right?
Yeah.
And because somebody just did not agree with you making that move.
Yeah.
And when that happens, it ain't really you getting this back and forth, but then they ain't going back because we made a decision for ourselves. And that's our happy place. And you either come along for the ride or you don't.
Yeah. I agree.
So
I agree with that. So that's the energy, y'all.
yeah. So just recognize that you have healed and start living in that healing. Like start, I don't know, maybe being excited about the future and start focusing on the past. That's been the past for some years now, months now, you know?
Yeah.
You got to realize that those chips fell and they got to lie there because you made a decision. So,
well, and also not allowing anybody to tell you again like who you should be or who you need to be, that keeps you stuck in an in-between place as well. From growing, because I kind of feel like what we were talking about earlier with the person that left the comment about my pricing of my readings. Like a past version of me would have felt insecure, like, oh, like maybe I should lower them, or just like, but it's not even that I'm not considering the people who don't have money. Like, again, I'm a living testimony of that. And I think if you listen to my sessions, you would know that, like, I'm not a person who's all about money whatsoever. But this being, like, my main function of financial security.
Right, this your livelihood. Like, this is what you do.
I feel like it kind of like did make me second guess in a sense, because that's not the first time somebody has said that. Somebody said that a few years ago, and they were just like, you shouldn't be asking for people for money on the internet, you should just go get a job. And it was just like their response today was like they feel like people's spiritual gifts should be for free. And it's just like, but the fact that you like expect somebody to show up
for free
and give their time, their energy. Like, I'm just saying, I just meant that in a way where I feel like that kind of resonated with me in that sense, because it was still being pulled in between two worlds of the old me that wanted to people please and the new me that knows my worth. And my worth doesn't mean that I'm too good for this person or this category or this amount of money. No, it just means that I am worth an investment. And really, it's really like your own investment in self. And the reason I brought this into this conversation, because with whatever the high priestess and the moon is getting ready to reveal, like, you can't let that discourage, again, your path and where you're headed. Because whether that person meant it in a malicious way or not, I'm not going to say that they like meant it in an ugly way, even if they did, because I didn't take it in that way. I just took it as somebody who wanted a reading but could not afford it.
Who didn't stop and think about what you do offer for free, how compared to everybody else.
But I think that's what triggered them. I think that they watched the content and they would like a free reading. Like, they would like a reading. And I understand that. But it, like, that's, you don't understand the balance. You don't understand give and receive. And that's what, I encourage people to do. And I'm not going to be a person who just gives and is seeking nothing in return. I give free content weekly. Like, I don't cheat anybody. I don't lie. I don't give cliffhangers. I don't, like, it's a full out thing. And again, that applies to me within this reading, because I'm still looking at it as like I'm cheating people because somebody doesn't like my prices. And it's just like, that's not, I know my worth. And I know that when you invest in yourself, you're going to make that payment. Like, you're going to purchase what you feel is valuable to you. And just to wrap that up, that's what I'm saying. Like, your value, what's valuable to you, your choices, what you stand for, what you participate in, like the things that mean a lot to you is going to be your wand.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be people who like it and appreciate it and support it. And there's going to be people who want to oppose it and go against it. You know, but that's what I'm saying. You got to see the truth of it for yourself. And that's what I mean. I most certainly understand people who can't even afford a $40 reading, because I've been there.
You've been there, right?
Shit, to be honest, if you want you $40 reading right now, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
We wouldn't spend that $40 right now.
Sit up here in front.
Right.
So I get it. But there have been people that have been waiting, and they have been saving, and they have been investing into themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so my response was just simply like, I understand that you don't have it, and you know, that makes sense, but like don't come on here trying to make me question my worth and give myself away for free without worrying about, you know, my foundation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. And then, like I said, it just triggered me because somebody, you know, has said, like, you can just go get a job. Well, if I go get a job, I'm not going to have time to sit up here and do readings and help people in the way that I have obviously been chosen to do so. And so sometimes you're going to have to make that decision for yourself, like yourself over everything else in a way. Because again, my intuition and the God that I'm praising has gotten me where I am today, you know? So I think that with this energy that came out, how that all ties together with everything that we said, is that you're always going to have things that pop up, that people say, that people do, that people come into your reality to try to make you go back to the past, a past version of you, a perspective, or a past habit or things that you used to do per se. But with this present energy, this is about realizing and recognizing the healing and the growth that has occurred, that has brought you to such a clearer perspective of self in life. Back then, you couldn't see yourself and you couldn't see life for what it truly is, not in the way that you do now.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, with the moon and the high priestess, it's only about to get more weirder and realer, which is why you have to now really depend on your intuition.
Yep.
And so don't feel discouraged, and don't question yourself if your present moment doesn't look like what everybody else feels like it should. Right?
Because what's coming to light is gonna be validation that you made the right choice.
Right. So everybody that was saying that, like, oh, we was broke because we gay and we this and we that, and here we are 5-6 years later. And again, I mean, you could still say we broke and we this and we that, but we still got each other, and that's that's my value. That's what I care about the most. And y'all can either watch us, you know, grow together and build something real, or, you know, you can go build your own, or you can hate. It don't matter. But, you know, you just got to keep moving. Keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
And don't count your losses, because
at
this point, that's a guarantee too. You're going to lose something.
Right.
At some stage, at some point in life. Well, at every stage, at every point you lose something.
Every stage. You're going to continue to lose. You're going to continue to feel like you failed. You're going to continue to win. You're going to continue to grow. You're going to, you know, that's just phases of life. It's never really going to end. Until the end.
But I think that, like, life is about your commitment and consistency to what you believe in. And that's ultimately why things work.
Yeah. I think life is about your faith. Like you said, what you believe in. Sticking to that mustard seed of faith that, hey, whatever happens, it's going to get better. It's only up from here. And if you continue to believe that things go up from...
But you still have to, like, give that acknowledgement of what it is that you have. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, if we did not value our relationship and our love, and, you know, we were not in agreement that was the one thing that we wanted in life, right?
Right.
If we didn't come to that realization to be like, you know, at the end of the day, we have a beautiful family and a beautiful life. No, we may not have everything that we think that we want or need, you know, it doesn't take away from what we do have, from what
Right.
is present and a guarantee in our life. Well, it's not even a guarantee,
It's
but
not a guarantee,
right now,
but
you
something
know.
that money can't buy. It's something very valuable to us.
But if you
everybody's
lose sight
different.
of that and you let everything else,
Yeah.
you know, distract you, you're gonna lose that.
Right. Right.
And I think that's where a lot of people end up losing in life, because you ask for something, you get it, you don't appreciate it, you don't value it, and then it's gone. And then you're sitting there like, damn, I had everything that I was seeking, that I
Right.
was looking
You didn't
for,
live
that
in
I was
regret,
asking.
right?
Yeah.
Right. Because you let everything else cloud that one thing that stemmed you, that started you off in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really important lesson. From relationships to life in general.
Yeah.
Now how many beautiful places, like apartments we lived in.
Right.
And it's just like, damn, that was it. We had everything we needed in that.
Right.
But at that point in
And
our
then-
time,
and then when we had to let it
we
go,
were just like,
right, when we had to
we
let
out
it go,
here.
we was like, okay, well, as long as we got each other, like
Yeah.
we can let that go. Like we had to literally sell everything we owned, and at the end of the day, it didn't matter because we had each other and we had a plan together.
So-
and as long as we got to that plan together, then everything else after that didn't matter. Like,
So do you think that, we're about to end it here, y'all, but do you think that the sun in the reverse in the Ace of Swords is about maybe not that you don't see the healing in yourself or in your life, but maybe in what you have around you right now? The things and the people that bring the healing to your life?
yeah. So what you mean? Like maybe you haven't taken a step back and show some gratitude of like, dang, you ain't really take a step back and like, I do have what I was initially
Right. Yeah.
seeking, or I do have what I asked for, and I do have everything, you know,
Right.
that
I guess that's what
matters to me.
I guess that's what they were saying when I saw like San Diego, when I was saying you told me like I'm gonna have to get up out of the past.
Yeah.
That was a moment of being like, yeah, why am I stuck and sad on those things when I got what I was seeking and asking
Right.
for?
Right.
You know, and then I definitely didn't want to put you in a place of making you feel like I wanted the past more than the present.
Right.
Whether that was family or, you know, friends
Right.
or anything from the past, you know. So I had to make sure that I was pouring back into that. Like you and Kaylee were showing up for me and making sure I was okay and tending to me without me even stopping and realizing. I mean, I realized, but it was something that I was just letting the past distract me from being absolutely present in.
Right. Right.
So-
You being sad over the past and not happy in the present. Not
Yeah,
happy
and
in the
then you're
moment.
Like, dang, you know, like what's wrong? Like why I can't make? And then I'm like, it's not. It's you.
Right. Like,
You're like, well, it's just us. Like,
right. And you're like, well, it's so and so from
yeah, 10 years ago.
from 10 years. You're like, girl, I understand, but
Yeah.
yeah, some people haven't stopped and thought about like it kind of made me think of the Fantasia song, like if you still singing if you don't want me, then don't talk to me. And you in a new relationship, or you haven't been in that relationship in 2 years ago, like why you still singing that sad song, and it
that
still don't
same
even give
hurt.
you the same feeling, right?
Right. Oh, that's music been a little buzzkill
Yeah.
since we've been together, because it's been a lot of sad songs or
Right.
things that we're just not resonating with anymore.
Yeah. And you hear those songs and you may have just tied them to a whole different thing.
Yeah, now I'd be like, psh, all right, moving
Right.
past
You
that.
think of that person, you be like, girl,
Oh,
why was I
no.
even why was I even singing that song
That
for
song
them?
pop up next.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
But Fantasia was saying she doesn't sing Free Yourself anymore because people need to understand what they're manifesting in their life.
Right.
And she was saying, somebody asked her why she don't sing it, and she was like, do you got a man? And she was like, no. She was like, because you still singing the song.
Yeah.
So it's basically manifesting through words, through
Yeah.
your mind.
Yeah. So just bring your mind up to date and realize like I'm here now. I'm here now. I'm no longer there.
Yeah. Well, we're abundant and wealthy then.
Right. Yeah, we trying to manifest ourselves like our abundant selves, but our abundant selves in everything, in our mind, our body, our soul, our money, our like that abundance. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We held y'all for 40 minutes today.
Right.
We love y'all. Thank you so much for vibing out with us and coming back after our little hiatus for a week. But nonetheless, we here and we're good. We hope you guys are well, and we will talk to you in our next one.